scripture real quick. This is Sirach 17 and 16. It says, every man from his youth is given to evil.
Yeah.
Neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts for stony. You know?
Yeah, you can't change. Yeah, once you get that stony heart, man, it's a wrap.
Yeah, no.
They get to that stage of, that's why you think most of the problems that a parent has with their daughter or son is when they hit that so-called teenage years. That's because by that time, it kicks in, it sets in, like,
because stage one of indoctrination is about right up to about teenage. Once you get to that, now
that's because they're grown now.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
right.
and that's,
so that's where you're getting that energy now.
Now they're making that decision. Their own select.
Go ahead.
My bad. Well, anyway, now they're making those decisions to be in that system, to further their education in that system, to be further indoctrinated after they hit that point. But that's when you notice that kids do what at that age. Around puberty, they drop out, they stop having sex, or they go harder in school to get all the way through, aiming toward college. But the major decisions in there happen right around that same puberty age.
Got it. We've all been there. Once you start hitting that puberty time, your mind state starts changing. You all of a sudden now you think you're a man because you really are.
Yeah.
You know. But we live in this place where you were never prepared to be a real man from a young age. You know. So once you hit that stage, you start acting dumb. You start rebelling. You really don't know what to do.
Yeah. You figure like you got everything figured out already.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't experienced shit, you ain't seen the world, you ain't, you know, you still learning and experiencing different things. That's why an elderly person having all the experience in life that they have, that's why they're known as wise men, the elders. You know, because they have life experiences. Yep. As a child, you know, then you grow into adulthood, you're limited as far as what knowledge that you have. A lot of the things that you know is from what your parents have taught you.
Yeah.
You know, but see, they're at that stage they get that stubborn nature, and they feel like they got everything all figured out, and that's where you get the clashing.
And they do everything you taught them. They can now remember or link to from what you told them, but what you didn't tell them or what they haven't experienced yet, they don't know shit. That's why a good analogy of exactly what you said is the movie Good Will Hunting. If anybody's seen that Matt Damon, Robin Williams movie, Matt Damon, to give you a quick overview, Matt Damon was super book smart. He had all the answers, he had all of this and that. But where Robin Williams was like a psychiatrist, therapist, whatever, he broke it down like, man, you're just a kid, you don't know shit. You can tell me all about the Sistine Chapel, but you don't know what it smells like in there. You never stood in that place. You don't have the experience to know. You can tell you all how wars happen, but you've never held your best friend in your hands and watched him die from the war. Like, the experience is what you lack. And that's where the real education happens. That's when the kid goes from already in these man experiences from when he was first being brought up. By the time he's a teenager, he already has these experiences because he's been thrown into man shit. He's not coddled into school where nothing can happen to him. He's safely in his classrooms and just getting fed things in his mind. He's actually out there chopping down trees and running into snakes. Now I gotta figure out how to escape a fucking snake. You know, living real life situations.
Yeah, the parents were originally the natural tutorers or teachers or instructors. But now, because we in captivity, this damn devil is you know, the instructor now. You got to give your child over to the devil, and the devil got to indoctrinate your child, man, and they become institutionalized.
Right.
So that's why they're growing up having that attitude of, I don't care what you say, I care about what the professors say, or what I read, you know, on my tablet, or you know, what this rapper said, you know, or this entertainer that I look up to. That's what they got. So that's their influences, and that's what keeps our people mentally destroyed, man. That's what keeps them bugged out. This nation is becoming more and more perverse. That's why I call this last generation, I call it the D-generation, man. All right, they call it Generation Z. Because look what they're being groomed into. transvestites. You gotta look to them as role models now. Really?
Bro.
That's what they got.
Yeah.
And then these demonic ass rappers and entertainers,
Yeah.
you know, wearing all type of bugged out apparel and got
Symbolism.
tattoos all over their face,
Painting their nails.
painting their nails. You know what I'm saying? That's what they got, man. So this is what's being developed, and that's why the Lord got his prophets out there crying out, man. You know, depart from her, for this is not your rest.
Right.
It is sorely polluted. It will destroy you with a sword destruction, man. This is Babylon. This is a place in confusion. You're in a confused state, man. That's because you've been chugging down what this damn devil has gave you, man. You know, lesbians, you know, raising children together. You had one dyke. She was trying to judge because she was in an argument with a cat, and they was talking about how he was saying, all right, well, your lifestyle is something that you choose personally. But what about think of everything on a planetary level?
Yeah.
What would be more productive on a planetary level in regards to relationships? If I put two women, all lesbians on one island, and I put all homosexual men on another island, and then if I put heterosexual men and women on another island, which island is gonna
continue on
and produce?
Just put one heterosexual man
Right on in it.
with multiple women on the island.
Yeah.
Kind.
What's gonna happen? Productivity. The cycle of life is gonna continue.
We'll see something new.
But when he said that, you know what the dyke said? Oh well, we could just get it. We could just get artificial insemination.
Say it on the
So-
island, a deserted island.
You know what I'm saying?
It shows you that
But see, they gotta go against their own nature
Kind.
to do their wickedness.
Kind.
Why you need some outside party to do what two people
be able to do naturally.
can do themselves naturally? You see what I mean? That's the confusion that our people are in. And when you argue with a so-called lesbian or like that whole LGBTQ plus the periodic table, them motherfuckers, man, you can't reason with them. Their logic is shot, man. They're that gone in that Babylonian juice, man. They don't even make sense when they try to reason, you know, give reasons to their lifestyle. It all leads to death, all of it. All you're trying to do is justify your interpersonal feelings and the pleasures that come with that. That's all you're doing, and in the process, you're not being productive, man. More confusion, more disease spread, okay? And you're damn sure not being conducive to the planetary building of society, man.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Right.
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood.
That's our people, spot on, right there. When you read these words, you should know that it's talking about our people.
Yeah.
All right, our people have taken wickedness to a whole new level too in this place. All right, you got like the brother was saying. Once again, the devil spoon feeding our people, and our people eat it up. You know, they willfully drink up that wine. You know,
That's what it means to be docile.
Huh.
You look up the word docile, it means to be accepting. You just take in whatever. You're easily taught.
kind.
You're easily when you're docile, you're easily taught, man. You know, Esau he'll give you something to drink, and then you start to feel a buzz and be like, all right, I'm relaxed. And then now he could just, you know, or when they do that, what they call that, hypnosis.
Yep.
They put you in hypnosis and then just
they
feed you
open
whatever
you
the fuck they want.
Yeah,
man.
that trance.
Mind programming.
And then
MK
once you snap out of the hypnosis, all that shit that they put in you is still in you. You know, and you just go about, you know, as Esau wants you to go. I had a pre real quick. This is Ezekiel 12:2. Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not. They have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house.
They even rebel and act like they don't see the obvious things that are in nature.
Yeah.
Like man and man, woman and woman.
Yeah.
Not to do dumb shit. You know, these people act like it's okay to just do whatever. That there's no consequence to it.
Prime example is people are dying every week of vaping.
Yeah.
But people don't consider. They still, well, shit, it ain't me. Well, maybe they had a condition or whatever. People are dying, but they don't consider that, oh, that may be harmful to your health. You could die from it. That's how simple our people are.
Yeah. Like these different fast food places.
Yeah.
That meat is all contaminated.
Yeah,
it's all poisonous.
Bro,
they warn you. They put signs in their restaurants that warn you that the food that's served in this facility it can cause cancer.
Yeah.
So if you do try to you know, send a lawsuit their way, hey, did you not see that sign?
Yeah, we told you.
Posted it there.
Fine
But
print.
you still gonna eat this shit anyway, because it's cheap and it tastes good.
Bro,
You
they
eat
got-
chemicals. That's all you eat it.
The shit come out in the news and everyone sees this stuff that they found human
DNA in rat.
in McDonald's.
Yeah.
You got social media where Instagram where everyone sees the rats running through the buns at Burger King and shit. People see this stuff and they still
going.
Go eat it. Oh well, you know
They'll still fight over it.
Yeah, fight over it.
That's the one restaurant I don't go to.
Yeah, that's when you gotta take a step back and look like, shit, I'm fucking programmed, man.
Yeah.
You know, but it don't register in these people's heads, man.
Zombies.
But like the brother first said earlier, this devil has hit us on every level. We're addicted to the chemicals in the food that they service. We're addicted to the chemicals in the water that they service. We're addicted to the pollutants in the air that they poison us with. It's all, as well as the indoctrination. Everything is figured out to work against us and to have us completely indoctrinated by their BS, by their lie.
Yeah, this devil has thrown everything he has at us, whether it's mentally and physically. All right, they've done everything in their hands to make our people go off and to slowly kill our people off. You know?
It's part of the secret councils of the wicked. That's what all those different councils that the international banking families have. It's all about how they can further destroy us as a people. Because they still know that they know that they're Esau. They have to figure it out. Like, man, what is it gonna take to eliminate these people so that we can get the birthright back? You're never gonna get that back.
They slowly kill us off for the simple reason we can still work and everything, and you slowly do it. Then you're taking the money and everything and getting the riches and continuing on.
Right.
Just the same old cycle.
And it's just them trying to mimic out the birthright.
Yeah.
That's all. It's pseudo.
Yeah.
It's all pseudo, man. That's why he wants to put a chip in you so he can know your every move, wherever you know what I'm saying? Basically, so you could be a servant unto the death. And even within those chips, he wants to try to make it to where you basically a person can receive artificial immortality, where you can live way longer than the average human.
Man, they had an article that came out about how they were talking about how Esau's trying to make people not live forever, but at least 150 years or something like that. Yeah.
So you could be a longer servant, a longer slave for him.
And they want to download their brain into artificial bodies. That's how they plan on becoming gods and eternal, you know? And that shit ain't gonna work, you know?
That's all part of the secret councils of the wicked.
I got that.
Back to our question real quick.
Yeah.
Now, I constantly hear, I'm a Hebrew myself and I know I'm one. Not African American, none of that bullshit. I know who I am. Now, constantly hear people talking about aliens, that bullshit. I said, first of all, the Most High, everything created is right here. Because everything gotta have oxygen to survive, food, water, whatever. It's right here. I don't believe in that shit up in the moon. Man never went on the moon, that's bullshit. Okay, I grew up in the 70s, actually that's the bullshit. Because first of all, if you can go there and there's life there, what the fuck you need a spacesuit for? You know what I'm saying? Oxygen,
Been back.
yeah.
I should be on vacation on the moon by now.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
60s.
I don't believe nothing man say. Just the Most High.
And let God be true to every man in life.
That's right. And you find out if you go through this walk, like I've been going through this walk, the world gonna hate you because it hate me. All right? So expect that. That's what we gotta expect. Like y'all brothers out here teaching now. I don't watch these young brothers back in Jersey where I'm from. They call Men of Valor 12.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, we know the brothers.
We
know the brothers.
Yeah, I have to watch them every week, man.
Yeah.
With them every week.
That's right, man.
We have the same doctrine with those brothers.
Right.
Yeah, those are our brothers too, man.
Yeah.
You know, some good brothers, man.
I like listening to y'all young brothers, man, because y'all ain't talking that Muslim stuff, y'all ain't talking that Jehovah's quote.
Oh,
Just
man.
the truth.
All that bullshit.
Just the truth.
Right.
And the difference with what we speak is you can hear that it's the truth because the Heavenly Father gave us the understanding that he had written down, and then we are able to link it through His Spirit, of course, able to link it into modern times and current events, where you can see it happen in real life.
You can see the prophecies unfolding. That's the thing about it with the Christian church, they tell you stuff, but you don't see the action of the Most High in their words. You see that, you know exactly. You see things we say, the world war. You see the uprisings of people. You see economic downfall. We speak of these things, and you look in the news. You look at the current events. They're happening. They may not be happening as fast as people like, but they're eventually going to happen. And that's the power of Yahweh Shema Shai through the scriptures, through the Spirit that He's putting on us to push His word out.
Yeah, everything that we see around the world and on the news and in our daily lives, everything can be filtered through the scriptures.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Right in front of them. Can't miss it.
This right here is
They
fulfilling
don't
prophecy
believe it.
right here, you know?
We're talking about
We're
that.
right here, we're fulfilling prophecy
Right.
by coming out here, you know? Everything can be filtered through the
Y'all
scriptures.
have any flyers? Watch y'all on YouTube.
Yeah,
We're just on YouTube.
What's the name of y'all group?
Great Millstone.
Okay, I think I'm out. Well, I'm out. Shalom, my brother.
You want me to get that Psalm 64?
Yeah, that's where I was actually going.
Oh my God. This is Psalm 64 and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, for the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
You know, bitter words, they put them out in decrees and certain laws and things like that to really destroy our people. But if you look at the ones that they're doing now, they're just destroying everybody. They on some fucking, let's get everybody. But if Jake is involved, let's put some extra on top of them and make sure that they upholding exactly what we're talking about. They really push it within our people to destroy us even more. That's why you have to depart mentally, because they're trying to keep us locked in mentally into their society.
Yeah. They know they got the rest of our people, they know they got them in a trick bag. You know, and the other nations, not even a threat.
Yeah.
But now that they see the men of the Lord out here bringing out the truth, and now they worried. Now they really sitting down and having conversations on how to deal with us.
Roundtable conversation,
Now they really scared and worried about what we're saying, because they know that what we're saying is truth.
And they see the growth of Israel. If we was just out here and people weren't coming into the truth and we had no fruit, Esau would just whatever. But they see people actually waking up, people denouncing America's lifestyle and the ways of America, and it's really hurting Esau. Esau is, like the scripture said, they got these secret counsels and how they're going to come against the men of the Lord, and how when Esau is going to come, they would have been came up against us, but it's calculated, because they know when they move on us, the Most High is going to move on their ass.
Right.
Finish.
But they got to make a move.
Yeah, they got to make a move. Let me finish this. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly
I gotta acknowledge that select. I gotta acknowledge that secret. That's the Illuminati, that secret council, right? Those are the elites that secretly run the world. Well, it's not even really a big secret no more. If the Illuminati is still a secret to you people, you're asleep. If you've never heard that term or don't know what that term is about, you're still asleep and you're so far into the system, you probably can't come up out of it. Okay, but by the power of God, but they set up all these secret agendas to make sure that the world fulfills right along their plans to try to earn that birthright, to try to force that birthright back. Okay, that's what they do. And so they put out certain things to have that more and more control. And they're so close to believing they have complete control over man upon the earth. And they are pretty close. That mark of the beast would be the final step that really makes them believe they have complete control. But they forget about Yahweh.
Yep.
He's still the power over everything.
Go ahead. Well, and when they shoot in secret, that's also like they're the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones. All this wickedness that's being pushed out here, it all leads back to them.
That's right.
Ultimately, you know, it leads back to them. They're the ones that are paying off these movie producers, these music producers. They're paying off everybody to push their agenda. You know, and their agenda is to get the nation of Israel to go off. That's it. That's what they want.
Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Who's the perfect? The Israelites.
Really, the elect in these times. Because, you know, like it says, and fear not. They don't fear the repercussions. They don't fear the recompense of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Like the brother was saying earlier, that they think that their kingdom, their rulership is going to last forever. The Most High got them puffed up so high, like he did Pharaoh, that they don't think they can be taken down. Yeah, that's that lack of fear.
Yeah, these are the ungodly that prosper in the world. You know, these men, their spirit was not made to believe in a heavenly Father. You know, only the devil would come up with the Big Bang Theory. You know, only the devil would come up with evolution. You know, they go above and beyond to disprove that the Heavenly Father exists. All right?
Yeah, these people, they have so much power and wealth that they're able to create institutions that control different facets of society. You know, they in these different institutions is used to shape the economic, the political, the social and cultural influences over the world, man. Like the brother just mentioned, it shapes the influence that's working through the entertainment industry, you know, Hollywood. So look at that nigga Orlando Brown. Oh man, you see how bugged out that nigga is? Well, he's a product of Disney. Yeah. Okay, that's what Hollywood would do to you, man. It would mess your brain. It would tear your soul out, man. Raven, all those different Jakes that came in through that, none of them are sane in the membrane, man.
The one Lindsay Lohan?
Well, that either might she's
all fucked up.
She's messed up.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with Jake though. You know, but I'm saying though, all that influence, it comes from these institutions that's being controlled by the international bankers, man. They control the mainstream television programs that we watch. You know, like CBS. You know, Warner Brothers. Yeah, all that stuff, man. Which is where you get a lot of heavy programming from.
Television programs.
The global elites bought the media back in the 1950s.
Yeah.
They bought all of them.
They bought all that, man.
Yeah.
Time Warner.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they control what? Atlantic and all those other, you know, different record companies. You know?
America is really ran by corporations now.
It's all corporation, you know.
It's business.
Here go right here. You can see all the, you know, the so-called Jew rats, they own all of that.
They have control over all influences in all aspects, man. They're doing that, man.
Oh, here we go. Right here, Salai. See all those?
Yeah. CNN,
CBS, Discover, all of that shit. They own that. Huffington Post,
Washington Post, all that shit.
BET.
That's why I laugh when they still try to call that the black entertainment television. Oh man, you change that B to a Jew to a J.
No, but it still B.
Call it Jet.
Yeah, it really is a black mentality pushed out on that channel.
Well, yeah, you're right. It is black.
Something was on the other day, and I saw it. I remember it might have been on Bounce. I think it was on Bounce, which is like the sub channel to BET.
like UPN.
Bro, yeah, right. Bro, it was just nigga shit. I forgot whose show it was. One of those sitcom shows they gave some Jake or whatever. And it's just that old loud ass black woman with the grandmama coming in. It's the same black culture propaganda BS. Stereotypes. Same BS. They push that out there, and then we turn around and watch the families mimic that. One thing I can say about Bill Cosby is he put positive images out about black people in better positions in real life situations. That was cool. It wasn't ghetto situations.
Even though he was telling you, you gotta conform to this devil and get his education, which that's further indoctrination, man.
Yeah. That's the route he went. You look where it got him.
That's why there's a document.
All that education, his ass behind bars.
Right. There's a document which they try to argue whether it's a true document or not.
Validity.
But it's called the learned protocols of the elders of Zion.
Oh yeah.
By the Zionists, man. And they show you in that document that they're the ones that control the curriculum in these schools, man. They put out what you should know and what you and with these different instructors, which they're all they get indoctrinated. A lot of them are Masons, by the way. So they're able to learn what their handlers feed them with, and then their job is to go and just pour it out to the rest of the world, man. Straight up, man. But it's the so-called Jew. They're the ones that control the overall curriculum, man. So when you say that you're educated according to what? Yeah. According to them Zionists, you're so-called educated.
They pass off certificates in their doctrine.
They have to give you the credentials, but the information is biased information.
You know that
it's what they want you to know, and it could be all type of lies, which a lot of it is lies, but they do hide certain truths within those lies, man.
So you got to understand what you're saying is, you see how they control the curriculum. Why all of a sudden is there this LGBT being pushed so heavy in the school system? All across the board. It's not just in this state, all across the board. They're learning. They're teaching them young. That's a part of their agenda. That's the curriculum that they set. Like, okay, this year we're going to start to push the LGBT in the schools at the younger age. Next year it's going to be the pedophilia, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Sex education.
That's what they.
Yeah, they started with the sex education a long time ago. But shit, when I was in school.
Nobody really needs to be taught that. You can figure that out.
Yeah. And these laws, these teachers, they really have no say in these things. These laws are being pushed by the top. These lawmakers, these senators. They're the ones that are pushing these laws. And if a teacher tries to even speak out against it, they're done. They spent 8 years in college, for 4 or 5 years in college, and now that's all gone out the window.
You can't even opt your kid out of sex education anymore.
You can't even opt your kid out of vaccines anymore in certain states.
Yeah, like New York.
That's still part of the indoctrination part. They have to first weaken the physical body to tap into their mind, and then they need the GMO and the hardening of the pineal gland, which will accept their doctrine. If you're a free thinker, they don't want you. They got to try to stop you.
They'll take your kids from you if you don't support your child's transgenderism
Yeah.
You know, they'll take your kids from you. So it's just it's a fucking wicked ass society, wicked system.
They
all set up by Esau.
They diagnose your children with all these fucking
Yeah,
man-made illnesses,
yeah,
and they give your children all these medications to dumb them down even more.
Adderall
You know?
what is, I can't think of the damn medicine. All that shit, man.
Yeah, kind of like you said, the teachers actually do it.
Yeah.
It's not the doctors that do it. The teachers will complain to the parents, "Oh, I think something is wrong with your kid."
Your kid needs to be diagnosed.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah.
Kind.
Diagnosed.
Remember when they that young so-called black girl, they expelled her because they were trying to get her to conform.
Oh yeah, kind.
To the concept of a male could become a female,
Yeah,
and a female could become a male. And she was like, you know, I am what I am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a girl. Like, you can't tell me what I'm not.
Something else.
So because she was in her right mind, the teacher saw that as a form of rebellion.
Yeah.
So they expelled her, man. So if your child goes against the grain and stick to the norm, then your child could be ostracized. They could be penalized for that, and you as a parent, they're gonna try to, you know, send the people at your house like, we need to investigate what those parents is teaching that child.
They're gonna do a welfare check.
That might be a household that's you know,
That's toxic.
It's a toxic household. It's probably, you know, some extremism going on in that household.
Be parents.
Yeah.
All that other shit.
And that's part of this devil trying to get you to bow down to the image of the beast. He's trying to intimidate you to worship his image, man. You know? This is what we got to deal with, man. You know? Scripture is Colossians 2 verse 8. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach.
Yeah,
that's what Esau does.
That's exactly it.
You know? He wants to spoil you through vain philosophy, wicked philosophy, and deceit, man.
It's funny because that's what they say back when you think about, they talk about certain things that happened in the time of slavery, how the slaves weren't allowed to read. It wasn't that they weren't allowed to read. They didn't want them to read because they didn't want them to read this book.
Yeah.
They didn't want them to learn about our Lord. They didn't want to put that together. It wasn't about reading, but they knew if they let them read, they would eventually come across this book.
They wanted to
So they
make
just
sure.
stopped all the reading altogether.
They wanted to make sure it wasn't no other power, higher power but them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
But they took their word for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything that Esau pushes is anti-Hamashiach.
Exactly.
Everything. This man is contrary to the scriptures. It's contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
That's right, bro.
All right?
Yeah, he wants you to be like him.
Kind.
He wants you to. You see, like the Lord created the sons of the Most High to be in the likeness of His image.
Yep.
Esau wants you to be made in the likeness of his image, man, which is contrary to the image of the other father. You know, like you want your child to either be on your level, or you want him to excel. You want him to surpass you, right? So when you start at a young age grooming them up, you expecting your child to be a reflection of what you contributed to him.
Yeah.
That's why Floyd Mayweather is so great. That's why the Jacksons became such, perfect, excellent entertainers. You know, musicians became icons. You know, the Serena Williams and Venus. So you train them up.
Beyonce.
You know, but you also train them in their character and their morals.
Yeah.
Esau wants to be the control of that. You know,
Remove morals.
he wants to remove morals. You know, you can't have standards in your house.
Yeah, kind.
You know, I want your child to be just as perverse. Let him grow up and figure out if he want to be perverse or not.
Yeah.
Instead of you grooming them up and telling them, no, this is not the way.
But hold on, let's not forget this. They're not just putting the option out there. They're pushing that option on them. So they're trying to groom them up in the way that they want. That's why they don't want the counterproductiveness of you ungrooming them or grooming them in the way that you believe.
Like discipline. You can't whoop your kids. Your kids will go to school and say, "Oh, my father or my mother, they whooped me with a belt."
Yeah, they hit me.
And then CPS will be at your house, taking your kids. Or you if you even threaten your kids, like I'm gonna whoop your ass in front of the teacher, hey, they'll report you.
Yeah, kind.
You know, and that's Esau trying to control everything, trying to control your household. You know, where your kid can grow up as a demon and do what the fuck they want to do, and you can't discipline them.
Yep.
You can't knock that demon
Yeah, you
out.
can't. Yeah, exactly.
He kind.
You'll be shamed for trying to, because the scriptures say if you you put the rod on your child, you know that means you love him. You trying to deliver him from death.
He that loves the son, often feel him to often make him to feel the rod.
Exactly. You know, and that's why you have these social justice warriors or these politically correct people they're bugged out their mind, these liberals, right? When you have a son, and this before he's consciously aware of, you know, making those type of decisions on sexuality and, you know, and relationships and all this other stuff, which that's why they try to groom them early and to try to coerce their mind, you know, early, you know. But here it is, you're a father and you want your son to be, you know, responsible. You want him to be manly. You want him to be heterosexual, so he can grow up and, you know, continue the legacy of your household. You know, bring forth your, you know, carry on your lineage, that you can have grandchildren, and, you know, basically your nation will continue to flourish, right? But here it is. When you install those principles into your child, you spend all that time, the outside world, these liberals, if your child decides to say, well, that's cool, Pops, but I'd rather choose the world. I'd rather choose what society is telling me. So that means that you gotta be like, okay, son, you wanna be a queer? I still support you, I still love you. You ain't gotta continue to bring forth our legacy, our lineage, and keep our family structured and name in the earth. You ain't gotta do that. I'll accept you open arms and I'll support you in every way. That's what the fuck they're expecting. That's what they're, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Magic Johnson, that's a perfect example.
I got a big 6'5" ass nigga woman for a son. Damn, I'm hot.
Bro, and you know what? And they have the nerve to shame you and call you all manner of evils if you was to basically disown them or denounce them.
Yeah.
So you mean it's like listen, if I put all my time, my energy, my resources, you know, my affection, you know, the jewels that I show with you, the values that I install into you, to live a decent and productive life. I do all this time raising you, feeding you, doing everything that a parent is supposed to do, only for you to grow up and say, fuck you, I'm choosing the world. Fuck that. Because that's what you're doing if you say, yeah, I hear all that. I remember all that you did for me when you tried to instruct me, you tried to discipline me, you tried to teach me the values of life and the do's and do nots and to have moral principles. But I want to be a faggot because that's what society is telling me. That's what the so-called white man is telling me. That's a big fuck you from your child to you for all that you've done to your child.
Come on, bro.
And Esau standing right behind your child like, and I dare you to do something about it.
Come on.
I dare you.
Not even just a fuck you. It's a fuck you to all the generations that came before.
Your ancestors. The shit that they had to go through and die for, you know?
Yeah.
That's a big fuck you to your nation.
And ultimately, that's a slap in the face of the Heavenly Father right there.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
You know? That's rebellion against the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
You know?
It's Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 7 and 23. Then I'm gonna jump down. Has thou children? Instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth.
Yeah, humble them, man. A humble child is the most receptive type of child you want to deal with, man, because they understand that they ain't got it, but they want to get it though. They want to get it, and they're not gonna go above to outthink you. They just want to learn what you know. Now, in this society, you're taught to outthink those that are supposed to be teaching your family members. Well, we're the first to go to college out of our family in 50 years or whatever. So these kids are all puffed up. When you say you do all these things for your kids, these kids today don't be like, damn, you did feed me and clothe me and put,
You
a
do
roof
know
over
what's
my
best.
head. And
You
do know.
You have
Instead
life
of saying
experience.
that, the kids are like, well, you supposed to do that.
Yeah, kind.
Right.
I gotta tell this a lot of quick testimony. When I worked at this job, this mother and her daughter worked there. We went by after work and hung out with them, whatever. The mother said, hey, I need y'all all, she had like 6 kids. I need y'all all to understand something. I don't have to do this shit. They're looking like, well, you do gotta. And I'm thinking like, yes, you do. I don't have to. I can say fuck all of y'all. She said just like that. I can say fuck all of y'all. Let the state take you and let them figure out how to raise you. And I can go to jail. I can run away. I can go to Mexico. I don't give a shit. But don't take what I do for you for granted. That's what she was really, because it wasn't a dad, but that's what she was instilling in her. Don't take what the things I do for you for granted. When she said that, I never forgot those words. And then, I was a grown man at that point, but it made me think about my kids. You can't allow them to take you for granted.
Let me finish this. I'm gonna jump down to verse 27. Honor thy father with thy whole heart, and forget not the sorrow of thy mother. Remember that thou wast begotten of them, and how canst thou recompense them the things they have done for thee?
Beautiful.
Man,
Exactly.
they clothe, feed you, protect you in your most vulnerable of states. The parental sacrificial things that they do so you can live and grow and have certain things. Man, my parents alone is unlimited. But I'm sure for us to make it to this point, me having kids, I know what you have to sacrifice for kids to get to the age.
You got us working 2 jobs, get no rest, We'll literally rather have our children eat before us. We'll do anything for our children,
Ecclesiasticus 30:9, read down. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Laugh not with him, lest thou hast sorrow with him.
Your sons, man, you have to keep them with a serious mind, man. You can't be all laughing and playing in games, but that's the spirit in the earth. Grown-ass men laugh and play. Real men, man, the men from the 70s, they didn't laugh as much as this clown-ass generation of men, so-called men. Back then, somebody get Sirach 19:29, real quick.
Yeah, they don't have that true austerity that they once had.
It is not there.
Being strict. That shit is lost, man.
You got this new thing. You got stay-at-home dads, man. The woman goes out to work, and the father is at home taking care of the house, man.
You know what's messed up? That's actually better for the kids. That's actually better for the kids.
That's an abomination.
It's messed up, but it's actually better, especially in this society, because a man has a more stable mind that's not as emotionally to react on everything. And they can teach the kid balance, but you have to emasculate the man to do it. Because the woman gonna come home and say, how come our food ain't ready? How come our house ain't clean?
Ain't no real man gonna go for that.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta wait for her to give you
allowances.
Hey, even now, if both of you are working, she's still gonna go up against you. She's talking about, I pay half the bills. I pay half the rent.
Personal experience, both of those notes. Being a stay-at-home dad before working, doing the whole 9 yards, that's a personal experience. And they come home like, what the fuck? I'm looking at you like, what the fuck? You still got a job to do. I got a job to do, you got a job to do. I go to work, I stay at home, sacrifices, but it wasn't good enough. So guess what? Now we're at this point. You ain't gonna take shit away from me because I'm giving it to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm giving it to you as a man, and you looking at me crazy because I'm calling you out on your bullshit.
It will work for us at the time, so that's what we do. But don't take advantage of that situation. It's supposed to be about us, not you versus me. Right?
Because in the ancient world, a man usually deal with his son when he's, of age, man. And when he was old enough to, get trained up. Not when he was a baby, you gotta wake up in the middle of the night and give him a bottle and shit. That's a woman's job, man. Can I finish this? Sirach 30:10. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Give him no liberty in his youth, and weep not at his follies.
And that's what an austere man would do. That's what an austere man would do. Read your precept right quick, then I'm gonna have that brother come back.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 19 and verse 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that have understanding by his countenance.
By a real man, he'll be able to look at a weak ass man in this metrosexual, whatever you want to call these weak ass so-called males that's walking around.
Yeah,
beta males, that's perfect. Right? You look at these beta males, and it's like they have no backbone, no decision making, no balls, no austerity, no seriousness about it. Okay, we can spot you a mile off. That's product of the wine of Babylon, man. Okay? Because men are supposed to grow up to be that way. Well, he's always been there's nice and gentle type spirits out there, but that don't mean you miss out on the austerity of the situations that you still come across.
Hey, if I may say this, every household I've known where the man is actually beta is the same household where the wife is always the laziest. She's always just, like I shouldn't have to do shit. You could do it. I could still talk shit to you. You know what I'm saying? I could, because you're just gonna be docile and not, you ain't gonna put your feet down. So she ain't gonna have respect. And that's just like a child. A child, if they can't take their parents serious, they gonna do what the fuck they want to do in the household. The room ain't gonna never be clean. The dishes will never be washed. The trash will never be taken out because you just
lack of respect.
Son, what are you doing?
And there's no humility or fear instilled in you.
Exactly.
Humility starts with fear.
My grandfather, he was austere as a motherfucker, man. Every time he came home, it was some shit sizzling in the kitchen. Shit was clean.
You can smell some food.
He could smell food because he like, hey, I'm taking care of the house. I bought this house. You know what I'm saying? I'm busting my ass out there, so I know. And my grandma, she was like, hey, she respect that austerity. So she was in line. She was humble. She did her job, man. She was a good, decent woman, man.
Y'all better have y'all room straightened up and everything before Pop get home.
But when Jake is on the weed and you just playing games and shit like that, because he go to work, but he come home and want to smoke the weed and play video games and shit, and she in the room on the phone talking to her homegirl and shit is all fucked up over the house. You one of those type of niggas. Yeah, that's why shit ain't in order at your house, man.
So imagine when you were talking to your grandparents' house and you see shit right in order, that changes how you fucking talk. Shit being right in order. If you pull up and you shit fucked up, like man, fuck this shit. You don't want to deal with a life like this. You feel better when things are in order, man. Things are clean and in order.
And the same thing with the daughters, man. Don't Jake do the wrong thing, spoiling them and thinking, oh my little princess, and you try to spoil them because they they're girls. No, you gotta be just as hard on your daughter,
Not
man.
harder.
Because this society is really like, and she's the weaker vessel too, bruh. It's really hard. It's more severe for your daughter than your son.
Because your daughter's gonna more than likely,
she's gonna conform.
If she is brought up not knowing how to do shit and in the house, she's gonna end up with a nigga.
Nigga for sure. Yeah, if you didn't put her to labor, if you don't put her to labor and she don't stay busy, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and she don't know, she has no skills, she ain't trained to be a wife at an early age.
Mother,
she gonna be running the streets. She gonna be at a fucking strip club,
smoking.
Yeah, that's